So I'm in London, it's raining, but today's a good day because I've just been to the ORIS store behind me and I've picked up this. There's only one of its kind in the UK and I've got it and I'm going to show it to you guys. So ORIS reached out to me a couple of weeks ago and said they got an exciting new model coming out, something really innovative. They only had one sample in the UK currently prior to the launch, and they asked if I'd like to feature it on my channel. And I mean, wow, I'm just so humbled that they would ask me to feature this watch. It's a real sign, I think, that the channel is growing, which is great, and thanks so much to you guys for that. And I can't wait to show it to you. So this new model from ORIS is called the Coulson Limited Edition. It's a pilot's watch and it uses some pretty interesting new materials and technologies that I think we might start to see more widely used in watchmaking. And whilst what ORIS have done here demonstrates a true pioneering spirit in watchmaking, the reason that it's called the Coulson Limited Edition is because it celebrates the brand's partnership with an organisation that's a pioneer in a very different field. Coulson Aviation is a Canadian-based aerial firefighting company. It sends pilots and specially adapted aircraft and equipment to areas of the world affected by wildfires. From California and other parts of the US in the Northern Hemisphere's summer months, to South America and even Australia in the summer months of the Southern Hemisphere. The motto they live by is, how can we help the most and how can we do it better? And this aligns perfectly with the ethos of ORIS, who in recent years have put environmental sustainability at the very heart of their brand, and they're really leading the watch industry in this regard. The first thing you notice is that dial. It goes from a deep burgundy colour at the top, down to a fiery orange at the bottom, and it's supposed to be reminiscent of the view that Coulson Aviation's pilots often see when they're overflying raging wildfires. The indices, the handset, the bezel and the case on this watch are based on ORIS's Big Crown ProPilot series, which is a really attractive design. Compared to other models in that series, aside from the colour of the dial, the really big difference only becomes noticeable when you look really closely at the case. It's got a subtle striping effect that looks very much like Damascus steel. But this watch isn't made from steel. The 41mm case on this watch is made from a mixture of carbon fibre and a polymer used in the aerospace industry known as PEKK. Don't ask me what that stands for. In a really innovative process developed by the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology at Zurich University, the case itself is 3D printed. And in doing so, the two materials are woven together, and it creates this ultra-light but incredibly tough case. And the use of high-tech materials doesn't end there either, because the bezel, the crown, the caseback and the clasp on this watch are all made from titanium, which is PVD coated in a dark grey to match the colour of that case. And to keep the weight down even further, rather than coming on a bracelet, this watch comes on a woven fabric strap, which is lined with dyed orange leather. So all in all, this watch weighs just 65 grams. I mean, you can really tell. You barely know that you're even wearing it, and I think I've got eyelashes that weigh more than that. Then there's the movement, and ORIS have used their Calibre 400, which is accurate to within cost tolerances. It's highly anti-magnetic, but it also has an incredible power reserve of 120 hours. I mean, that's 5 days. It's got an exhibition caseback, so you can see that movement beating away. And the rotor has got these rather cool cutouts at either side, which I think is less about trying to save weight, and more so that the rotor doesn't obscure the movement when it's in certain positions. This ORIS Coulson Limited Edition is limited to 1,000 pieces, and it has a retail price of 4,200 Swiss francs. If you're in the UK, it's £3,400. I'm not sure what the US dollar price is yet, but I'd imagine that it'll be around $4,000. Now, I've got a lot of respect for ORIS. I mean, my first serious watch was an ORIS, and that's what really got me hooked on this hobby. So I was really blown away when I was given the opportunity to be the first channel in the UK to get hands-on with this new watch. And I've got to say that the staff at their boutique in London were really super helpful. I love what they've done with this watch and the innovation that's gone into it. I'm a big fan of watch brands who take risks and experiment with unusual materials, and I just think that carbon cases look so damn cool. And I've also got my fair share of black watches in the collection too. I also think that the contrast between the colour of this dial and that carbon case just looks epic. And I think that those white Arabic numerals and those white hands are just super legible on that red and orange dial. I also like the size of this watch. Pilot's watches, in my opinion, are often far too big, but at 41mm, this one just wears really, really well. And that lightweight also makes it super comfortable on the wrist. This clasp is a really nice touch too. As on some of the other ProPilot models, it's been designed to look like the seatbelts that you'll see on a plane. And it even operates in the same way, so you lift this latch to release it. And it's even engraved with the word lift. I've got to be honest, I've been trying to find something to criticise about this watch, just to make this review a bit more balanced. But I can't find anything that I don't like. Got nothing. Now, I haven't got a pilot's watch in the collection. I mean, most of the ones I've seen before have always been way too big for my skinny wrists. And I think because of that, it's probably a niche that never really appealed to me that much. And when I first saw this watch, I have to say it didn't immediately grab me. But after spending a week with it, as you can probably tell, this one has really grown on me, and I don't actually want to give it back. But guys, tell me what you think about this watch in the comments. Click that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And I'll see you on the next one.